Alright, Shalom. First off, give all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, the honors to the elders and apostles of GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers of this truthful word enduring in sincerity. This is the continuation of the series I was doing, World War III, the Triangle. This is the first leg, which is the South China Sea. So it's a lot of controversy going on in the South China Sea. I'm just gonna go over a couple aspects of it. I got a couple articles. I'm not going to read the whole articles, but I'll definitely put them in the description so you brothers can, go out and check them out. In order to understand fully what's going on in the South China Sea, you gotta have just a little bit of knowledge of the history of China and a little bit of geographical knowledge as well. So the first aspect I'm gonna go in on is all the U.S. military bases in there, because the U.S. actually has surrounded China with all their military bases. They have bases in South Korea, in Japan, in Thailand, in Australia, in the Philippines, in Guam, in Hawaii, and Alaska. So I mean, they got that whole um, South Pacific on into the South China Sea. They got that on lock. They have bases anywhere. So if they needed to refuel, or if they needed to, do anything, they have a base close to home. And the South China Sea is just a small part of the Pacific, but it's still a pretty wide area. Um, Matter of fact, just give me a second. I'm gonna Google how big the South China Sea is. How big is the South China Sea? This is about 1.351 million miles. So the South China Sea is fucking huge. So if you was to get out there in the middle of the sea, and you ain't got nowhere to go, you have to make it all the way back to China. You liable to run out of gas. You're not gonna have no reinforcements or nothing like that. So what China's doing, they're literally building islands in the South China Sea to have just that, to have military bases, to have ports for their ships, to have landing strips for all their planes, so they can set up, their air force. So now they have all aspects ready. They have their army, their navy, their marines, their air force, all of that in the South China Sea, so that they can properly defend their turf, defend their territory. And the U.S. doesn't like that, because that's messing with the same plan that they got for Russia. They wanted to, and we'll get to that when we go to the Russian leg, but they're totally encamped around about them, so that if they needed to go to war, they can attack from any angle. And what China's doing is basically doing a smart thing by building up these islands out there, so that they have bases to go to as well, or so that they have a counter strike. You know what I'm saying? A man for a man, so to speak. I know on the border of South Korea and North Korea, for every South Korean person, there's a North Korean person right there on the other side. That's just how it is. But one of the big things that's also going on right now is the controversy with Taiwan. So that's gonna get me into my first article. It says War Games. This is from the Daily Star. It says War Games. China invades Taiwan in army simulation as World War III conflict fears increase. So I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'll just get into the meats and potatoes of it. It says it comes after Beijing was outraged by President-elect Donald Trump's suggestion that he would attempt to negotiate its One China policy, which aims to unite Taiwan with China. So, like I said before, you got to have a little knowledge of the history of the South China Sea and China, because they have what's called a One China policy, which is basically saying that there's only one country in the world named China. even though the People's Republic of China, which is the mainland, and the Republic of China, um, which is Taiwan, are two separate entities. But even they agree that there's one China. They just don't agree on which government is running China. So it says Donald Trump also broke long-standing agreement between China and U.S. by publicly accepting a phone call from the president of Taiwan. Chinese Foreign Ministry woman Hua Chunying said coldly that the U.S. was clearly aware that the nation's one China policy with Taiwan. Any person should understand that in this world there are certain things that cannot be traded or bought and sold. She said in a daily briefing. So that's going on with what I said before. You can't buy your way out of this, Trump. Says the one China principle is the precondition and a political basis for any country having relations with China. And that's basically the golden rule. And Trump did already broke the golden rule with China. It says, who will add it, if anyone attempts to damage the one China principle, or if they are under the illusion that they can use this as a bargaining chip, they will be opposed by the Chinese government and the people. In the end, it will be like lifting a rock to drop it on one's own foot or own feet. It says. So that's what's going on in that aspect. Trump is already, ruffling the feathers of China, and basically they broke their golden rule. Let me see. This one is from RT. It says, no word bombs. Pressure from outside can stop drills in the South China Sea. So they got a lot of drills going on, and like I said, a lot of operations going on in the South China Sea, and America is opposed to them in their own backyard. It says these provocations, pressures, fantasies, or over exaggerations will not prevent the normal drills of the Chinese military. The Communist Party people daily said on Sundays, reported by Reuters. It says, according to the paper, no amount of word bombs, such as remarks by U.S. President Donald Trump's Secretary of State pick Rex Tillerson, could interfere with Chinese military exercises. So, I mean, they can say what they want. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they're not going to stop China from building up the islands. They're not going to stop China from invading that or doing their thing in the South China Sea. I want to get this quick scripture, which is Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Because that's what this is going to come to, man. This is just one leg, one aspect of the World War III complex that's going to, this World War III algorithm, should I say, that's going to be coming home here pretty soon. I mean, really, like I said, it's already going on. It just hasn't been fully manifested. It's going to end up in the Valley of Armageddon, which is Saudi Arabia. So this is like I said, the first leg of the triangle that I wanted to get into today. Hope you brothers were edified. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yashai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS. Salutes and honors to elect. All the brothers in this truth who are enduring in sincerity, and the women and children follow. Shalom.